All right, this one's more for the nerds than it is the rest of you. So if you're a nerd who likes to build chainsaws, I guess you might like this. OEM 372. Brand new from Paveen. It's good stuff. I have done more 372s than any other model. And I do a bunch of work saws. And what I found was I was consistently going back to the same recipe, like 30 thousandths out of the band, 98, 118. And here's where it gets interesting. I was like, man, like my biggest headache when it comes to porting cylinders is marking out where I want it to go and then reliably grinding to that mark. And I'm the type of guy, so I'm always thinking, how can I improve this? How can I develop a system that overcomes and surpasses and avoids my own shortcomings? I think that's a good method for life, but in saws specifically. And you know how it is when you're grinding. You might grind it and then you clean it out and you put it back on there and check it. Oh gosh, I'm short. For me, it's always transfers. I'm always short like 3 or 4 degrees on transfers. Because typically you put a ring in it, put it back on the saw, bolt it down, get your degree wheel on it, and you get it about to 0, and then you bump it a few degrees to where you want it to go, and you pull it off, and then you Sharpie it, and you dry it, and you pick it to make sure you got a good crisp line, and then you pull the ring out, and it's kind of smeared, but you're like, I can see the line, and am I rambling yet? So 372s, I've done a bunch of them. I like my work saw recipe. I've had great results with it. Blocks. These are milled. They're lathed down exactly to the specific bore diameter. And so you'll notice this one says 372/98. Now, here's how this works, all right? So it doesn't really matter how much you cut out of your band because your height after top dead center is your height after top dead center. So as long as your squish is the same, this will always be 98 degrees if you drop it in there against the band. So I drop that in there. I grab my Sharpie. That looked cooler in my head. You draw your line. That block was made on the lathe. It is parallel on both ends. It is perfectly round. Just a tiny bit of give. But Sharpie it, draw a pick on it, drop it out after it dries. You want to be generous with your dry time. That's something I found to be a useful bit of information. Pick your nose, scroll Facebook, take a drink, take a leak, whatever. Sharpie it, let it dry before you touch it. And this is how I do it. And the really convenient part of this is, mechanically, I know exactly where my squish is at. On this cylinder specifically, it's at 22 thousandths, right? I actually set this up for 25, so it's going to be 3 thousandths of an inch, a little bit off the exhaust. That doesn't necessarily matter. And you can go back and double check with your wheel. I did that a lot at first when I started using these on these, but I'm so confident and I was so happy with the consistency and the results that I got that nowadays, I often for work saws, I don't. Barn chain it, run it. If it's running how I think it should run, if it passes time cuts and all that sort of stuff, send it. So yeah, I don't know. It's neat. I've got an exhaust one at 98. I got a transfer one at 119. You might say, Morgan, those numbers are way too aggressive for a work saw. Do your thing, man. I'm going to stay in my lane and do mine. So, Happy New Year.